Alexa, stop. Hello and welcome to Stephen and Bridgetti in discussion. And hopefully today everything's going to go perfectly. We're on BLIFbot TV, and you know that we can now have 4 people on screen. If you've been notified by ManyChat, you'll already have the link. If not, I'm going to post that link into the chat now. Or even better than that, if you type in guest, then you can join us in the show. So let me just give you the information. Spelling's a problem. Best to join us. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching. In this show, we're going to review the week and look forward to next week. And also, we've invited some guests along to join us. Say hello to John. And this is the Friday show. It's weekend. Hello, Ed. Ed was here. Ed was here. So I've got the proof now. It's on the screen. It'll be in the recording. Hello to everybody who's watching. So I know at least John and Ed are here and 2 more people. And if you identify yourselves by just typing in the comments. Now, what we've discovered over recent weeks is that you need to, when you go do a live show, is that comments equals reach equals views equals minutes watched. And that's a very simple equation. So Ed is still here. Good. I've been going for all of 60 seconds. I haven't lost anybody yet. So that's a good thing. Now, a bit of housekeeping. If you are a member of the BLIFbot group, it does help if you can put your shows in the daily thread. We create a thread every day for people to actually... Right, I'm going to come on to shares in a moment, John, as I welcome my co-host, Bridgetti. So I'm going to take that down. I'm going to take that down and be joined by Bridgetti. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's weekend again.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank goodness.
I was doing a bit of research for the program, not a frequent occurrence, but at the moment we've got a national crisis on our hands. Half our KFC restaurants have no chicken.
I heard that on the news. That is terrible.
Well, it's bad planning. It's certainly bad planning. But in doing my research, I know that you had the same problem in Cape Town in January.
We did, but for a different reason, you know. Okay. We had an outbreak of listeriosis here, so
Right.
so there was, you know, a short supply of chicken for that reason.
Right, that is just a breakdown in planning, and I'm going to try and keep up today because I think we're going to be busy today, Bridgetti. Our first guest today is Charles Harris, so I'm going to bring Charles through to the screen as soon as he gives me a thumbs up, and let's take things forward. I've got a thumbs up.
Awesome to have so many guests today.
It is. Hello, Charles. Charles, can you hear us?
Sometimes it just takes a moment for them to appear on screen.
Yeah, I can see Charles on the live screen on the output, but I'm not sure. This is live video, everybody. I'm not sure whether Charles can hear me. Charles, if you could refresh, I'll bring you back in.
And I can see John is there, Carlos is there, Ed is there, Brad is there.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone.
All right, and a question from Ed. Do the English cheese shops have cheese? Yes, because we're a world beater in terms of cheese, and we've got Lancashire, Cheshire, in fact, Cheshire, Cheddar. We've got more cheese than the French, and that's saying something. So yeah, so right, Charles is back. I'm going to give a moment for Charles to settle in.
Yeah,
if
sure.
anybody else wants to come on screen, you should have a link. And 3, 2, and 1. Hello, Charles.
Hey, I'm back. How you doing, Stephen?
Nice to see you.
I'm still waiting to see him. In the meantime, I think Carlos says, what? None of our KFC have chicken in the US. They have something
that mimics
chicken.
Yeah, just a minute.
Charles, I can see you now.
Oh, right. Okay. What we have, we're connecting 3 continents, Charles, and I'm in the UK. You're in the US, yeah?
Yes.
And
yes.
Bridgetti is in South Africa.
Whoa, awesome. This is awesome. I love it.
The very southern tip of Africa, like right down there.
Yeah, we're doing good. Yourself?
I'm well. I'm in my work vehicle, and I'm parked right now in front of a gas station called Sheetz over here in the U.S. Getting a little something to snack on, chips and soda.
Whereabouts are you based?
Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Brilliant.
And I love the platform. The platform is great, and especially with the 4-seat. Oh my goodness, this has been a blessing, to my show.
It is absolutely awesome. You're right. You are so very right. I mean, I'm enjoying having the 4 seats. It's great. It's only been available to us for all of 5 days.
Well, I'm actually new to BLIF, so I think I've been with the company about 30 days now. So I love it.
How are you finding it? I mean, what do you use it for?
So who's all logged in right now with us? Just me and you, or?
No, there's the 3 of us. There are 6 people watching, and possibly people passing through as well. Can you see?
I can see you up top, and I can see myself on the bottom. I did see Ed on the left of me on the screen, but he's no longer there.
Ed's not been in the show.
Okay.
Bridgetti is currently in the show and showing live on Facebook.
So we explained this last week, Charles. So if you are a guest in the show, you see yourself in the right bottom hand corner. So if you were
now come Monday, I was on the last.
Okay, we've got a problem here. Because Bridgetti is speaking, you don't, but you can't hear her. And
right, I can't hear.
Bridgetti, can you hear Charles?
Yes, loud and clear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear Charles very well.
Right. Okay. But carry on, Charles, and we'll see how far we get. But we do have.
I've been with the company for about 30 days now. And I might have gotten past 3 shows so far, and they've been all successful. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you, guys.
Right. And what topic do you run shows on?
I have a motivational speaker. They might come on and motivate, my viewers. I might do, it's a mixture of everything. It's just not one show. I'm not in the box. The show is called Live on the Block, and we talk about every aspect of life, everything, family, marriage, money, motivational speakers, Christianity, everything.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So when you produce
the audience is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every week.
Now, I'm going to have to repeat what you say, Bridgetti, because
Charles not able to hear me. Okay, so what I wanted to say is just to let Charles know that when he's doing his shows, he can post them in the BLIVers group.
Indeed. When you do a show, Charles, you can post. We do a daily thread in the BLIVers group, and you can post in there and get more publicity for your show. That's a great way of actually getting the word out. And
right, I did that. I did that once before, and you did post it up for me, and then it was getting more views. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, we know the system works because what people do is they go and look at the card and then look at the shows underneath and click to get a reminder. Then when you go live, they get reminded and they come along and watch. We've seen that work very well. And just to answer, Cheryl's actually typed guest, so Cheryl should be joining us in a moment. Right. Yeah, I mean, with regard to that card that appears in the BLIFers group every day, it is important that everybody puts the shows on there because we've got nearly 5,000 members. We've got over 5,000 members now. And if 5,000 people posted one show twice a week, we wouldn't know where to find anything. That's why we've got the sort of card thing, isn't it, Bridgetti?
Yes, and it works really, really well. So it's in one
I have
thread.
a new segment coming up. It's called Show Your Love. So with the actual fourth seat, friendship is everything, in my community. And the next show is going to be Show Your Love. And we'll have one guest that will be highlighted. And we'll have 3 other people coming on and just show that one person their appreciation of their friendship and just tell some feel good stories about them and their childhood friends and just let them know that they care about them, love them, makes them, and misses them. Just show them friendship appreciation, pretty much.
That's
always that's awesome.
A good way to work. Now we have another guest and want to welcome Cheryl to the show. And 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Right, sound check.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear Cheryl?
See Cheryl now.
Right. Can you see Bridgetti?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, let's just take that off the screen. Right. Okay, Cheryl, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about...
Hi, Cheryl. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Cheryl. Welcome.
Tell us a little bit about where you are and your show.
Well, I am in Pennsylvania as well.
Oh, where at? Whereabouts?
When you said I'm at Sheets, I knew exactly what we're looking at. I know what the store looks like. So I'm actually in the middle of Pennsylvania, right on the Mason-Dixon line, meaning I can be in Maryland in about 2 minutes. So I'm north of Washington, D.C., about an hour and 15 minutes.
You're right there where all the action's at. All the action's at.
Yes. Yes. And
you can go to the action and then come back and be nice and peace and quiet where you're at. Here you go.
Yes, you can see my office is all zen.
Very nice. Looks very nice.
Well,
I'm down in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm right down in Pittsburgh.
Yes, I heard that. Yes. So thank you so much for bringing me on the show. And I think you did invite me to just say a little bit about who I am and what my show is.
Indeed.
Well, my show is called livewithcherylpiper.com. And really what I do is I kind of call myself a relationship coach because I work with people dealing with challenges with communication and conversations. I kind of just a one line on really what I deem myself is that, I really help people to discover and to let go or release those things that are holding them back from living the life they desire or want to live. And it's all based around forgiveness for me and just moving into that space of peace and letting that stuff go that you just don't need to drag around with you anymore.
One of the things we love about live video is that it allows us to network and to get to know people and to get to know what they do.
I lost Stephen.
Has anybody else lost me?
I can hear you.
I still see you,
hear me?
I can hear all of you and see all of you. I do not see Stephen.
Charles, can you hear me? Charles can't seem to hear me.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Look, you have to. We need to just understand that
you're like a ghost. You just disappear, Steve.
The 4 seats is still in beta.
Yes.
So and we can report these issues.
Yes.
So
Steve,
the fact that we've got some teething problems is good.
Steve,
because
can you still see everybody?
So this is very good. This is, like you said, we're testing this out, and this is why it's in beta. That's why we're doing this. So it's fantastic. I'm sure Stephen will be back soon.
I've not gone anywhere. Patricia is reporting that all is good.
So let's chat about what do we want to chat about? So
can I quickly ask the audience, you guys that are watching this now? So right now the problem
on your show
is that
Cheryl, are you going to utilize fourth seat or just 2 seats on your show, Cheryl?
Excuse me, I don't think I understand the question.
Are you going to utilize the 4th seat on your show?
Yeah. Yes, I will be using it for discussion panels. And I'm sorry, is it Brigitte? Is it?
It's Bridgetti.
Bridgetti, you were talking, and I don't think Charles can hear you. So you were asking the audience a question?
Yes, so what I was saying is I wanted to ask the audience, the guys that are watching. So right now, the problem we're having is that Charles cannot hear me, so we end up speaking over each other. And Charles cannot see Stephen. And Cheryl, you said you cannot see Stephen either, right?
That's correct, but I did just see John commented that he can see all 4 of us. Is that correct, John?
And I want to know whether they can hear all 4 of us, because otherwise it's just the sound between the 4 of us that's a problem. So I want to know if the audience can hear all of us. Let's see if there's any comments there. Okay, Patricia says, have her bounce out, in and back. So is that me? Okay, so Brad says I can see and hear all 4 of you, but Charles doesn't seem to be able to hear anyone as he keeps interrupting people. So I'm thinking that Charles should maybe go out and then come back in.
Let's try yes. And perhaps will be able to hear then.
Cheryl, can you tell Charles that, because he can't hear me?
Charles, could you stop your camera and come and go out, and perhaps when you come back in, you may be able to hear everyone.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Bridgetti?
I'm going to refresh mine as well. Okay, just in case.
Okay.
I will refresh as well.
Okay, it's just me. I'm on my own. I've got the show back. I can take Carlos's message off the screen. And yeah, Ed's right. We just want people to refresh. Hopefully when I bring Cheryl back and say hello.
Hello, Stephen. I see you.
Good. Well, I didn't go anywhere. I'm not moved.
I know. Your screen was simply black where we were. We couldn't see you.
Okay. And say hello again to Charles. Hello, Charles.
I'm back, Stephen. I can see just you.
Can you see Cheryl above you?
No, I cannot see Cheryl.
Can you see a black? Sorry, can you see a black square?
No, there's no square up there at all.
Right. Can you now see Bridgetti? 3, 2, 1.
No.
Bridgetti. You're on mobile, aren't you?
Yes, I'm on mobile. Yes.
Right. Okay. Android or iPhone?
Android.
Right. Okay. We'll report that to be live. And Guy, dictatorship has a place. Welcome back, Bridgetti. Somebody's got to take control of it. Otherwise, we'll sink. And basically, what's happened now is that everybody's left, everybody's come back, and you can hear me, can't you, Charles?
Yes, I can hear you, Stephen. I can see all the comments to my left on the bottom, and I can see you, but I can't see the other 2 guests.
Okay, but can you hear me now, Charles? Can you, even though you can't see me, can you hear me?
Now, can the other 2 hear me, Cheryl?
I can hear Charles and I can see Charles.
Bridgetti,
okay.
can you hear and see Charles?
I can hear him and I can see him, but I doubt he can hear me.
Right, Charles, you can hear me? Yeah.
Correct.
You can hear Cheryl. Cheryl?
Yes, correct.
But you can't hear Bridgetti.
I can't see or hear Bridgetti.
Right. Okay. And question from John, just a general question: have you updated the app recently?
Oh no, I have not. I can go do that and then come back in.
Good idea.
That could be it.
Right. Well spotted, John.
Okay.
Right. We'll hold your seat.
Let me go ahead and do that right now.
Okay.
And
Right.
I have a comment that I would like to make. I do not see any comments. I see people who have liked and who have reacted, but I'm not. Let me.
Just underneath that.
Okay. No, I have it. All right, thank you.
Okay.
I have it.
Right. I know they've been doing some work on the guest experience. Just let's catch up with the comments because people have been having fun whilst we've been doing musical chairs. Right. So where anyone with problems can bounce, says Patricia. Good sense. And we did discover his phone guy, so thank you for that. And John suggested the phone should be updated. And Patricia's saying we all look and sound good. Well, thank you. That's good.
The guy says you should record this for a bloopers reel.
Everything we do is being recorded. I should have set the recorder going in the background, and then you see what was actually happening. It's like a duck. It's all calm on the surface, but underneath the flippers are going 10 to the dozen. But I mean, this is live. I mean, what would it be if it went perfectly?
Exactly. Would it be fun?
It's the element of not knowing what's going to happen. I mean, we know this is a beta, and the thing is that to get 4 people on screen and to get it so that it works in your browser and the memory usage is pretty low and the processor usage is low is an engineering feat, because I've been on other systems, and as soon as you've got 4 people on screen, and Bridgetti will confirm this, my computer processor goes up to 100% and sits there for the rest of the show, and that's no way to do it. The way that BLIFbot have done it just simply works, apart from the odd glitch. Patricia's saying, Patricia, when things go wrong, it is fun. And I look forward to Guy's bloopers reel. Start recording now, Guy. We've not come to the end of our problems. Right, okay, now, a couple of things that came up this week. Did you notice after you'd done a show, and you go to messaging on your business page, you can now message people directly? Before, you could like the comment, you could reply to it. Now you can Facebook message them.
Excellent.
I mean, that's a great step forward, because it means that, like today, I sent out 70 invites to join us in the show today, and I do that through Messenger. So if you can message people, then they go into your Messenger, and then our Messenger bot sees them and sends out the invites. We don't annoy people. We only send 1 or 2 a week. But the ability to actually write to people after the show is great, because if you've got a question, you don't have to keep the question, the answer to the question, within the comments. You can take it off to a private Messenger chat. So that's a step forward. The thing about Facebook is they do all these things but don't tell anybody.
No, they don't.
You just have to discover it.
It's something new virtually every day. But the messaging one is a good one. So if you go to the comments on the show afterwards, you'll find that you can now start a conversation.
That's the one thing that is a little bit annoying about Facebook. You know, almost every other app, when they do an update, they'll kind of give you a little bit of the description. You know, if it's just a tiny little bug, they say, well, you know, it was a little bug. Or if they made improvements, they'll tell you what the improvements were. But Facebook's kind of like, you know, oh, well, figure it out for yourself.
Indeed they are. And the other thing you've got to figure out for yourself, the second thing I came across this week, and this is thanks to Molly Mahoney, and reading a couple of articles. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a question from Guy. Where'd that dude go? Did updating the app cause more issues? I don't know. He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back. But got to remember, hang on a minute, just add on to that. He's actually sat in his car outside a filling station.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yeah, so there you go. And Yomi is saying thank you for these great tips. What I love about live video is that we find something out, we tell everybody. We don't keep it to ourselves. We're not hoarding these secrets that will make us all powerful. We're actually sharing knowledge, and I think that works well.
It does. It's one thing that's been really nice in the BLIFers group, is the transferal of skills and transfer of knowledge. When someone discovers something, they'll come out and share it. Or if someone asks, they'll share their knowledge. So that's really been great.
Yeah. And the other thing that came out of this shared knowledge from Molly is I've not asked anybody to share the show today. Corinda would be most disappointed because I always do at least one call to action, which is to share the show. And there are people who say you shouldn't ask. But if you are enjoying the show, please share it. But having said that, if you share a show and nobody interacts with that share in terms of commenting on it or liking it, then to Facebook, nothing's happened. Yeah, it doesn't. They do not increase the reach until somebody comments on a shared post or reacts on a shared post. Right, we're going to go for broke here. Oh, that was quick. Charles was with us for a moment, then he left again. So that's just basically encourage sharing. But what I'm doing now, and it worked today because I always like to experiment, is we did Ask Angelica at 9 a.m. Eastern today, and our program, or Angelica's program, is a German language show, and not many people want to know when we're live, but after the show I went to all the shares that have been done and I commented, and throughout the last 4 hours our reach has just grown and the views have grown. So it does in fact work. If you get shared, make sure you go and comment, and that's a simple way to actually increase reach. Right, okay, yes. Now we're going to go here for 4 people on screen. One of them is Charles, and hopefully this time round, third time lucky, we'll say hello to Charles again. And everybody, who can you see, right. Charles? Welcome back.
I can see you so far.
Just me?
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, I can say this. I've been talking to Bridgetti and Cheryl for the last sort of 5 minutes or so. I think we do have a technical hitch. Wait for a second for it to catch up. If you're watching us live, thank you. And right, okay. Do you want to take over for a minute, Bridgetti? Because I'm going to drop down for a second, see if I can find something out. And in the meantime, Ed has joined us. So I'll drop down and bring Ed onto the show.
Well, actually, can you drop me down because I have to run?
Oh,
I have to run.
Well,
all you need to do is just click on stop camera, and then you'll be.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I just wanted to let you. I wanted to let you know before I drop off. Thank you so much for
joining.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
And we bring Ed into the show now. I've just brought Ed into the show. Charles, can you see him?
Yes, I can see Ed. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing good. I wanted to see if I can be a fourth person and everybody can hear me, because when I was listening before, there were some people who couldn't hear other people. So do you hear me?
Can hear you.
Can hear you and can see you.
And okay, Bridgetti, you can hear me too?
I can hear you and I can see you.
Okay, would it be in bad taste to offer you a glass of water?
It would.
I beg your pardon?
Never mind.
It didn't say a word then. He didn't.
Okay, I didn't say anything. No. No, I didn't.
Charles, so can you hear and see me this time?
I see you and I hear you.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Right. Well, we'll go with sound only because that's working good. We're going to report this back to BLive afterwards.
Well, can Bridgetti log in and log back out? See if I can see her when she pops back in.
Okay, I can do that. I'll refresh.
So I'm also wondering if it's the fact that he's using Android that some people can't hear other people hear. I don't know.
I don't know. But can you hear Charles? Sorry.
Yes. I can hear Charles fine.
Right. Okay.
So everybody's on laptops and iPhones.
Well, I'm on a laptop with an external camera and an external microphone and an external earpiece. So what do you is that a police car in your background there or?
No, I am a service technician by day, and this is the cage so the boxes don't fly up and hit me when I stop.
Oh, okay, I got it. I was thinking police car, taxi.
Oh no! I got a bunch of boxes back there, a bunch of boxes, parts, things like that, so they don't fly up and hit me, in the back of the head.
So what do you service?
ATMs and safes and alarm systems and computers, everything.
Okay, and do you get to empty those if you've got to pull,
Charles,
when you're working on the ATMs?
No, I just service them. I see you now. Yes, I do see her now.
Excellent.
Okay.
And what's happened to Ed? Has he popped out as well?
No, Ed's here.
I'm here. Can you hear me, Bridgetti?
I can't see Ed at this time.
Can you hear him? Can you hear him?
I hear
Ed says
everybody.
Something?
I hear everybody. I hear all. I see all.
Okay, I'm not hearing Ed and I'm not seeing Ed.
Right. Okay. I was going to take it. Yeah, I don't know.
Steve,
I think it's the combination of things that we've got at the moment that mean that things are not going according to plan.
When you've got a moment, Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've said that it takes a lot of your local processor power when there's 4 people on. Is that correct?
No, that's the reverse of what I said. That's the opposite of what I said. That's the opposite. We've got 4 people on screen. My CPU is at 55%. My memory is at 53%. So that's very low. My comparison was with other systems which use 100% of both.
So you're saying that when you are on with 3 other people, your system is heavily loaded?
No, the opposite.
Oh, the opposite. Okay, so it doesn't affect your system at all?
No, it's better. It's the best I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah. The usage of both the CPU and memory is the lowest I've ever seen, and I was complimenting BLive on their engineering.
Okay.
Because to fit a quart into a pint pot is not easy. Yeah. Bridgetti, rescue me.
Okay.
I'm closing.
I want to make a comment here. I'm seeing comments from Dale saying sounds like BLive having a lot of issues. Guys saying I almost stop believing this is wonky. What's a relief? Dale says, why is BLive not handle these issues, especially when we're paying for the service? Okay, so guys, this is in beta still, and we are reporting issues. Anything that's in beta is bound to have issues. And I do want to tell you guys, I did an interview on Thursday, and I had 7 guests in my show. And apart from an issue with sound, which had absolutely nothing to do with BLive, everything ran perfectly fine. I was doing this video that was to be presented to the president of my country. I had seven guests, used the 4 seats. Everything ran perfectly smoothly. There was not a glitch from BLive side. So, guys, this does work. It really does. I've used the 4 seats very successfully.
And I did the same on Tuesday as well. I think it's a combination of things. If Ed, can you see everybody on your guest screen?
I see everybody. I hear everybody, but I guess Bridgetti cannot hear me. Is that right?
I think that's right. I don't think Bridgetti can hear you. Okay.
Hi, Bridgetti.
Nope. Bridgetti, who can you see on screen?
Stephen, I can see you and I can see Charles. Before I went in and out, I could see and hear everybody. It's only since I came back now that I can't see or hear Ed.
Right.
And Stephen, you're still out the screen. Are you still dropped down on the bottom? Because I can't see you right now.
I see everybody.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Right. I can assure you that the screen that's going out on Facebook has 4 people on it, and everybody can hear all 4 of us. So the output is perfect. The problems we have is in being able to hear each other.
In the production studio, yeah.
We seem to go. I mean, I can hear everybody. I don't have a problem. I can see and hear everybody. I can see and hear everybody on the live feed. I can see everybody and hear everybody in the production center. So from where I'm sat, producing the show, there are no problems, and the fact that you can't hear each other. Yes. Okay. Right.
It's Bridgetti. She can't hear what Ed. She can't hear you.
Charles, yes, that's correct. I can hear and see you and Stephen, but I can't hear or see Ed. But I can see he's in the show.
Right.
Where can you see that?
On the page on the on Facebook.
All right. Okay. Ed, would you try something?
Yes.
Just in the interest of experimentation, would you refresh and come back in?
Okay. I'm just gonna hit the refresh button on my
Right. And to take Dale's comment, if you schedule a show with a beta system, I'd schedule the show and just have 3 people on screen. And we've had 3 people on screen for 12 months now, and we have no problems. So I'm going to bring Ed back up. And 3, 2, 1.
And are the dings new?
No. Hearing bells is nothing new. Bridgetti.
Okay.
Yes.
Bridgetti.
Can you hear Ed?
Voila! He's back. I can see him. Ed, say something.
Something.
Okay, I heard that something.
Charles, please say something.
Great.
Please say something.
We can talk, Bridgetti.
Charles, could you say something too?
Yes, I can hear both guests, and I can hear you, but I can't see you, Steve.
Right, it's okay. I don't mind being invisible. No problem with that. I'm going out on the live feed, and I can see all 4 of us. And just want to take Dale upon this. If you arrange a show and you treat us 3 seats, then I don't see any problem at all. In terms of 4 seats, then the public release of this is not until next Monday. I would expect them to be ironing out any glitches with our help before next Monday. We're going to use this service in return for which we get to use it early, in return for which we report any bugs, and we will report the bugs after this show.
And we put up with bugs.
Well, I mean, basically, BLIFbot will squish them. They won't appear on Monday. Everything that we tell them, they do take on board and they fix it. I mean, as I say, this is a feat of engineering to get something this powerful working in a Chrome browser where you don't need any additional software, and for it to run on a 3-year-old computer is just, I'm totally blown away by it. So I'm in it for the long haul, and I would expect by Monday that this will all be ironed out and totally working.
Steve, is this available to anybody who goes on BLIV to beta test?
It's currently available. If you go and create a talk show, you'll see you've got the 4 seats.
If you do press talk show, you have the 4 seats.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody can see it, even though it isn't
Sorry.
out of beta till Monday.
Okay. Sorry, there's only 5,000 people who are members of the BLIFers group can use it. Yeah. You're in the BLIFers
But if
group.
you're not a member, of BLIVers, you don't get it. Is that right?
Unless you apply.
Okay. So this is just for us because we're members of the club.
Correct.
Group.
Correct.
Okay.
We're the beta testers, and we're having fun doing it, and people are having fun watching, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? I don't think anything else can go wrong, can it? Now that everything's working, I best not put the mockers on it. Right. Does anybody have any questions? We're happy to answer any questions.
Well, it just seems like, Steve, when a few of us do a few refreshes with our computers and phones, it tend to work. But on the first time you log in, there's some bugs in it. So Ed had to go ahead and refresh. I had to go ahead and update my software. Bridgetti had to go ahead and come back in and refresh in order for it all to work the way it is right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the refresh, we know that 90% of all known bugs are cured by refreshing Chrome. And the update, the notice to update was in the BLIVers group as well. So BLIV have sort of tried. And Chuck is saying that the updated software and hardware makes a big difference. Good graphics card and RAM. Well, the more powerful your computer is, then the easier it's going to be. But I mean, this is the first time we've had such fun as this for quite a while. It's not something that happens regularly. I mean, I've been doing 6 or 7 shows a week for the last 9 months with no problems at all. So I'm sure that this by Monday will be good.
I have to say, my computer's even older than yours. I am on a Mac, but it's a 2012 model. So.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. And there are comments coming in, and I'm not going to read all the comments because I want to stay reasonably positive, because this is wonderful technology. And this will be available from Monday for anybody who's got either the light or the standard package for people on screen. And I think that's quite amazing that they're not, as the best of my knowledge and belief, are not increasing the prices, and they are giving us the 4 screens. So it's a small thing for us to do to beta test.
Yeah.
Great.
I wanted to mention that I had my computer's about 4 years old, but it was a very fast one then, and I'm also running Linux. And I've got I have 16 gigs of RAM, and it is a bit loaded. This is the first time I've ever looked at the loading. The load average says 5.61, which doesn't mean anything unless you're running Linux. So,
right. Okay.
I got a question for you, Steve.
Yeah.
When you log in as a guest to the show, you're logging in through Facebook, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Everybody. Now, just a question. I think I asked this earlier. When somebody logs in from their Facebook account, is there a way that once they log in, it can notify their viewers that they're going live?
That's down to Facebook. If you've scheduled the show on Facebook, then there'll be a post on Facebook, and anybody who's hit the reminder button. Right. Okay.
Whoops, you got a telephone call. It sounds
like you got a call there. Yes.
Anybody.
Okay, so now we know what happened on the phone, and you get a call.
Yeah. Right. Anybody who clicks the reminder button. Hello, Chuck. Charles, you're back. Anybody who clicks the reminder button will actually get notified. Right. And we say a traditional hello to Mr. Robert C. Stern, who's now. Are you going to join us, Robert? It's the weekend.
Yeah.
And,
Hey, Robert, welcome.
right, and I understand, Dale, and we're all on the same side. But the only thing is that when you sort of trying to condense things into 100 characters, it can be a bit terse. That's my only comment. Yeah, so Robert, if you want to join us, please do. Please come on. In fact, Dale, if you want to join us, yeah, more than happy for you to come on live and chat about your perceptions. I'm not saying anything's perfect. We're not pretending BLIFe is perfect, but I'm going to say it's the darn best thing we've got.
So Robert says the only people that get notified on Facebook is the friends or followers of the original poster, or if it is scheduled, they clicked on reminder. So that's how it works.
Very good. Thank you, Robert.
Did we lose Steve, or did he shut the little door on his camera like this?
No, Steve's still there. I can see him.
Oh, Steve, you just went blank for me.
I went blank.
Yeah. Oh,
and I don't hear you.
You don't hear me?
Bridgetti, is he saying anything?
Yes, he is. So you're obviously not hearing him right now, but he is there, and I can see him and I can hear him.
Okay, I'm going to refresh me.
Okay. Have you ever known a show like this?
No, never, ever. This is the first.
I hope somebody's right.
Well,
okay.
you know, we can get BLIFe to have a look at the broadcast when we're done.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's wasted. You know, I mean, we know this is beta. And whatever they find now, they will fix before they do the public release.
Yeah.
And I make fun of it a little when things aren't working right, but that's just my humor. It's not that I am. I mean, what we have here is pretty good.
Yeah. Bridgetti, can you see and hear Ed?
Yes, I can.
We all can hear and see each other, I think, as far as I can tell. But now, before what happened, Steve, is the rectangle that you're in went black.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yes.
And you disappeared, and I couldn't hear you either. But now I hear you and see you. I have a little door on my Logitech camera.
I see. Are you having fun there, opening and closing your little door?
Yeah, well, sometimes actually I turn it on and I forget to open it. I look up and obviously my camera must be broken because all I see is a black screen. But then I flip the door, and you know, there's other people who have a business card taped to the top of their computer, and they flip the business card up, and then they're live.
Hey, nice advertising, Ed.
Oh, why, thank you. This is I guess they call them flags. And you could buy blank ones for about $7-8 on Amazon, or you can order one where they put your logo on, probably about between $35 and $50, depending on the one that you get.
That's good.
Nice. Great advertising.
Right, and John's just confirming that everything is still fine on Facebook. Good. I don't think anybody on Facebook knows what's been happening here, because they've heard us all the time. But the thing is, when you can't hear each other, then it makes it difficult. Seeing is not a problem. I mean, but it's the hearing. Once you stop hearing somebody, you get in the situation where you're talking over the top of each other, and that's what makes life difficult.
A question about something you brought up earlier.
Okay.
What is that?
Why isn't there any chicken at KFC?
All right. Okay. In the UK, the deliveries to KFC restaurants, of about 750 in total, was done by a well-established processed food company who'd been delivering clockwork to all the 750 KFC outlets. They had never, ever run out of chicken. Yep. KFC decided to put it out to tender. The transport of the chicken from the warehouses to the 750 sites would be done by whoever put the best price in. The people doing it, or currently, and doing it well, unfortunately were undercut by DHL. And DHL took over. You know what's coming next, don't you? DHL took over. Their drivers are not from the food industry. Their employees are not used to the food industry. And basically, the logistics computer didn't work. So half the KFCs in the UK, possibly less now, are closed because they can't get any chicken. The chicken's in the new brand spanking new warehouse, cold refrigeration site, but they can't get it to the. It's a question. It's in the search for profit. They knew 3 weeks ago what was going to happen, but it was too late. Yeah,
they went with the lowest bidder, and it didn't work this time.
It didn't work this time. No. I mean, there's something to be said. If it's broke, don't fix it. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I tell you, we've had our fair share over here. So, you know, with the water crisis, the local municipality have outsourced how they calculate the usage of water to a third party. And that has worked for yonks. So right now we're in crisis mode. We're in the middle of a crisis, just providing water. And at this point, they decide that it's a really, really great idea to bring this process in-house. They've never done it in-house. Now they're doing it in-house. And what they decided to do was, instead of basing average consumption or average charges when it's calculated, if there's not an actual reading, on the last 3 months, which is the way it's always worked.
Yep.
Because of this, there's now a glitch, and it's now basing your reading on what your consumption was last year this time. But now bear in mind that at last year this time, we were at level 3 restrictions, right?
Yeah.
And there were no penalties at that time. Right now, we're on level 6B, and there are very heavy penalties for going over your consumption. So if your bill this month was based on your usage last year when we were on level 3, when we didn't have the constraints we have now, you're going to be getting a whopping bill with a whopping fat penalty fee. And their solution is that you must please pay that account very nicely. Please pay the account and we'll sort it out afterwards. So, you know, if you get this huge, big, fat bill, just pay the bill and we'll figure it out sometime in the future when we're good and ready.
If that was a private trade, do you have any choice?
No.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? They do have a monopoly, and they're misusing it.
In the United States, if you're contesting your bill, you don't have to pay it.
Good heavens, no. And then they threaten, well, if you don't pay it, you know, first they say you've got this resolution, you can complain about it and they'll investigate it. But in the meantime, you have to pay up. And if you can't pay up, then, come in and make arrangements. But all these things take time. But under the current restrictions, if you're not playing ball by paying your bill, you will just get your supply cut off. You know, catch-22.
It is a catch-22. There's no winners. You use bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Companies. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't run a conglomerate by any stretch of imagination. I wouldn't go there. But the ease with which they get it wrong. What's missing? What's missing in all this is just a bit of common sense. Isn't it? In both situations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't fathom how big organizations like KFC in our local municipality here can't get stuff like that right. I mean, like, how do they get it wrong? It's crazy.
We're always continually trying to improve things. Yeah. And occasionally, as we've proven today, things will go slightly wonky when you do that. Even on live, especially on live video.
You just need a really good dose, a good sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, things can go wrong. I mean, with as I said to you now, my broadcast the other day with seven guests, nothing went wrong on the side of BLIFe, but there was another technical glitch completely outside of their scope. And what could what can you do? You just carry on, and make the best of it.
Well, that was a particularly important recording, wasn't it?
It was very important. I mean, I've never ever done something like that where the broadcast will be sent, to the president. It was a pretty important one, So what went wrong was most unfortunate. I will have to edit the video separately before I send it to him.
And that's going to the president of South Africa.
Yes, we've got a new president, by the way.
Yeah. Indeed.
So, Steve, here's something new I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I've never noticed before that writing that I see is mirrored. So here, Ed sells, and it says Ed sells as if I'm looking in a mirror when I look at the screen now, but I'm guessing that you see it the right way. Is that correct?
Yeah, I see it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's looking good from this side.
Okay. That's all that matters. How
It's
do you
the end
see it?
result.
How they see it. The audience. Who cares what I see?
The end result that counts. It's got to be the wrong way around for it to be the right way around. I know that's doesn't sound logical, but if you're seeing it the wrong way around, then everybody else is seeing it the right way around.
Okay.
And somebody's just joined us, and they have no idea what we've been talking about or what we've been through in the last 60 minutes. As Bridgetti and I have been in conversation with Ed Weinberg and with Charles Harris and with, rescue me again, who came on earlier? I've got to remember. I should write the names down.
Cheryl,
yeah. I mean, basically, we had 11 guests on the show on Tuesday, and everything went perfectly. But I was able, even with 11 guests, I went down into the lobby, and whilst I was in the lobby, I actually made a note of all 11 names. So by the time we got to the end of the show, I could just read all 11 names out, and it felt I was actually in control. Which we have been for most of this show. I'm sure we've missed things, but it's been a pleasure, Ed, and thank you for joining us. Bridgetti, over to you.
It has been great. We've had some challenges this evening, but it's been interesting. Challenge is always great. I think if one was having a very important guest, it may be a little bit tricky, but, maintain your good sense of humor. That's the best you can do when things go wrong. Maintain your composure. Don't panic. Ask your guests to refresh. And the best advice I can give you is before you start a broadcast, especially if it's an important guest, but any guest, let them know, that if there's a possibility of something going wrong, tell them what to expect and what to do in advance. Tell them that, if you disappear, refresh the screen. If they can't hear you, refresh the screen. If your internet goes down, the show's not going to end until you physically end it. So tell them those things up front so that they won't panic when anything goes wrong. I've done that. It hasn't spooked my guests right up to now. No one got spooked about it. So tell them up front so that they know what to expect. So thank you, everyone, from me, Bridgetti Limband in Cape Town in South Africa. Have a fantastic weekend.
And Ed?
Okay. I'm Ed Weinberg. And by the way, I'm a real estate agent and a real estate investor. And I do shows that typically where I interview people who are either in business or involved in real estate in some way. And thank you for that advice, Bridgetti, because I'm going to tell my next guest exactly what you told me. All you have to do is push that little squiggly button up in the upper left-hand corner, and it will reload your screen, and hopefully you'll hear and see everybody.
Indeed. And the answer to everything is cheese. If you get a chance to try Double Gloucester, John Upton and I can recommend it. You'll find it in your local deli, and it's probably the best cheese in the world. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye from Wiltshire in England. Bye. And we'll see you again next week. Bye for now. And we're closing down.